What you see here is a cozy, modest home made of wood that resembles a ski cabin. But behind the house, where no bystanders can see, is a shop where mechanics build one of the oldest, most valuable race cars in history. These race cars are called Lolas.
Every time we stop, hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Mac McClendon is a renowned Lola historian and restorer. Mac and his wife Angie moved to Jacksonville, Florida from Los Angeles in 1991 so Mac can have space to continue his extreme hobby, building Lolas. The Lola was invented in 1958 by British engineer Eric Broadley, and Mac started racing Lolas professionally in 1966. But seriously? How can someone build and rebuild vintage race cars that sell up to $1.3 million in their backyard? It's really quite simple. When Lola International collapsed financially in the 1970s, Mac purchased all of the official Lola machinery and parts.
I bought all the original tooling in 1970 when they were going to throw it away.
Mac has been building these cars for 32 years. His engineers pull Lolas apart and rebuild them or completely build them from scratch.
A lot of people can't believe, how we start them from the ground and push them out the door.
Workers weld aluminum, cut metal, drill bolts, make the fiberglass, apply primer, and sand and smooth the cars. And for what? A breathtaking machine that can race up to 250 miles per hour. Mac has built 27 new cars for the Lola factory and restored 70. He estimates there are about 140 Lolas total that have been built. Other than Lola International, Mac's clientele is usually collectors and vintage racers. Clients buy Lolas from Mac and ship them to Spain, Belgium, England, or Portugal for vintage racing.
Vintage racing is bigger today than the Pro Series was when I drove it in the 70s.
But Mac has a unique background that led him to his fascinating hobby. It all started when he was 15 years old. Mac said Texas was too rural for him, so at the young age of 15 he joined forces in the Korean War, and then Vietnam.
They found out I was underage. They shipped me back to the States to give me an honorable discharge. I re-enlisted in the Air Force with rank, and by the time they found out I was underage, I had security clearances, so they didn't kick me out again.
At a young age, Mac has seen more than most people.
I shot 3 times, stabbed once in Vietnam.
After the war, Mac moved to California and received his degree in engineering and business. In 1960, Mac began racing professionally. He started racing Corvettes and Porsches, but preferred Lolas.
Well, they handle better, they're lighter, and they're a lot faster. And they have probably more than double the horsepower of the other cars.
And liftoff.
Roger, roll, Challenger.
After Mac retired from professional racing, his engineering background got him a job at NASA, where he oversaw the structures and composites that made up the external tank of the Challenger space shuttle.
When the Challenger blew up in 1986, I was the guy that was responsible for the parts they thought caused that crash.
But after reviewing film from the Challenger, NASA engineers determined the explosion was caused by the solid rocket boosters, which Mac was not responsible for. Mac retired from NASA in 1991 and decided to focus on building Lolas. California was too regulated and crowded, so Mac and Angie searched for a place he could continue his hobby.
They threw a dart at Florida to see where we were going for the weekend.
And that dart landed on Jacksonville. Mac currently runs a staff of 13 men. Well, 13 men, 1 woman, and 6 dogs.
Good dog! Good girl, Jay.
Clint Sanders has worked with Mac for 16 years and says it's an honor to learn from the greatest Lola aficionado.
Mac's so smart, there's so much information. I mean, he's just a plethora of information. And you learn something every day. I mean, that's why I consider myself pretty good, because I've been taught by the best.
Mac's wife Angie is also a key element in the car building operation.
My role is, first of all, to stand behind my husband and support him.
She'll crack the whip, and I need that. Mac's such a nice guy. He hints subtly. Angie's not quite as subtle, which is good.
Angie also handles payroll, purchasing supplies, and makes sure workers stay on track. And as for being around 13 men every day,
sometimes, I gotta be honest, I hate it. I hate it. A lot of testosterone. But on the good side, it's very complimentary because I do get special treatment.
And taking care of the 6 security guards can be a lot of work on its own. Building these Lolas are not only fun and games for Mac. The cars kept Mac busy and distracted him from reality when his daughter Melanie died at the young age of 29.
He was very bitter, very broken for a long time. Saw no purpose in anything.
She was killed in a head-on collision while visiting her fiancé in England in 1993. This was the last picture taken of Melanie in England before the accident.
But basically, you don't get over somebody in your family dying, you just learn to live with it. And the cars help.
Mac has overcome several obstacles, but more importantly, he has endured immeasurable successes. I asked Clint to describe Mac to me.
Have you ever seen the Dos Equis commercial, The Most Interesting Man in the World?
He lives vicariously through himself. He is the most interesting man in the world.
He should be doing that commercial.
Really?
Yeah. It should be the most interesting and the smartest man in the world.
That's funny, because Angie also said the world's most interesting man struck her as the perfect phrase for Mac. She also described Mac as
Honest, a good man. That means he's got good values, he's got good looks, a good heart, a very good heart.
Mac's response to being compared to the most interesting man in the world?
They have a small world.
At age 72, I asked Mac why he doesn't just retire and settle down. His response?
Retiring for somebody old.
Exactly.
I'm not old yet. I'm young at heart.
Young at heart he is. Mac has a true passion for these cars. He's raced them, restores them, builds them, and sells them.
He almost knew he was destined to do things.
Since Mac bought all the original tooling and machinery from Lola International, he truly is the only person who can carry on the Lola legacy.
Well, I probably will never stop because there's always a new Lola. Somebody always wants one restored.
Who knows what other things Mac McClendon will accomplish in his lifetime.
We stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.